that down, let's move on to this, shall we? You know, Transformers Rise of the Beasts wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I had some fun with it. I enjoyed it. But it was unfortunately kind of a return to the Michael Bay style of doing Transformers movies when everybody on the planet knows what they should have done was a Bumblebee 2, which of course director Travis Knight, director of Kubo and the Two Strings, did such a great job directing and made a truly wonderful film, not just a wonderful Transformers movie. But at the end of Transformers Rise of the Beasts, they gave a little post-credit teaser where we found out that monitoring the Transformers and the humans aiding them was none other than a stealth organization known as G.I. Joe. And he pulls out his card, says G.I. Joe, and everybody in the audience got excited. And lo and behold, shortly thereafter, Paramount announced a Transformers G.I. Joe movie. They announced it.
Yep.
Came out and said, hey guys, this is happening. Woo! Yeah. Little problem though. They've got nothing.
They have concepts of nothing.
Ideas, concepts of a plan.
Yeah.
I don't have a plan. I got concepts of a plan. Anyway. So when they talked to the producer, De Bonaventura, about it, and you're like, hey, when are we going to get a release date? It's been over a year. It's been over a year since you told the world you're going to get a Transformers G.I. Joe crossover. Oh, what's the release date? This is what they said. This comes from CBR Right, says, recognizing that when it comes to crossovers, quote unquote, people think different things about what that means. De Bonaventura described this story as one where the Joes are going to be in the Transformers world and be present. I think every movie is sort of a balancing act of how much you have this. And in this movie, how funny can we be? How serious? How do you cross that line? How do you hide the villain? All those sort of balancing acts that you're doing. However, he conceded that the film release date still isn't set, adding, we're still in the early process in a way of trying to figure out the balance. Let me get this straight. You told the world 1 year and 3 months ago that you were doing a Transformers G.I. Joe movie. You doubled down on that by putting out a big public statement saying, the Joes and the Transformers coming to the big screen together, when you had no goddamn idea what kind of movie you even had. Whatever happened to the idea of, hey, we've got this great idea for movie. Awesome. Let's set it up. Let's put in a post-credit scene. No, it's just, hey, you know what we should do? What's that, Eddie? I'm making up a fictional character, Eddie. What's that, Eddie? We should do Transformers and G.I. Joe movie together. That's a great idea, Eddie. Hey, how far along are we in that Transformers Rise of the Beast movie? Pretty far along. Tell you what, let's slap in a post-credit scene and we'll announce to the world. And then Eddie looks concerned. Well, wait, I mean, shouldn't we know what we're doing with that movie? You know, before we announce it to the world? Nah. How hard can that be? Let's just tell everybody. And now we're hearing a year later, we're trying to figure it out. We've got, we don't know. You know, how funny do we want to be? Is it the Joes in the Transformers world? Is it the Transformers in the Joes world? You know, we're kind of figuring it out. We're figuring it out. Why the hell didn't you figure it out before you told the world? You know what this reminds me of, Ray?
What?
Blade. And I think this is the first time, like with Marvel and Blade, that was the first time that they really stuck their foot in their mouth. I mean, they've had to cancel projects before, but that was for different and often legitimate reasons. And not often have they canceled projects. But like with Blade, they made the same mistake. Hey, what do you think about doing a Blade movie with Mahershala Ali? Great idea. Book him to fly in and join us at Comic-Con and we'll bring him out on stage and announce it. But Kevin, yes, Eddie? Eddie used to work for Kevin Feige. Yes, Eddie? Don't you think maybe we should have our idea for the movie first and maybe a script before we announce to the world? Eddie, you're fired. Go work for Paramount. And then Eddie went over to Paramount and had the problems with the G.I. Joe movie. But they had the same problems, right?
Eddie's having a bad day.
Eddie's having a bad year.
Well,
Poor Eddie.
I mean, the Madam Web writers are available.
Yeah,
develop.
they've got some free time on their hands.
Look, my problem with this thing was that I never found that G.I. Joe was set yet. You know what I mean? Like all their movies, like I've forgotten about him. I think they need a better movie to come out first before.
Nah.
Like, no? Okay.
Eddie says nah.
No, Eddie says nah? Okay.
I mean, look. What Eddie would remind us all is that you didn't introduce Black Panther in a Black Panther movie. You introduced Black Panther in Civil War.
Oh.
So you introduced G.I. Joe because God knows you can't have it in the same continuity as The Rock's movie or as that horrible Snake Eyes movie. So you want to introduce new G.I. Joes, introduce them with a Transformers car. That's fine. That works.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
The execs are watching this. They literally just crossed off those two movies as you said.
Yeah, it's like, well, there goes that idea. Sorry, Eddie. So again, what is it with coming out and announcing a movie to the world that you have no fucking idea what you're doing with it?
Man, it's
You
like
haven't got the first idea, but let's just tell the world we're doing it.
it's like announcing a wedding date. You don't even have a girlfriend yet. Save the date. I have a good feeling about this one.
Good feeling.
Is that Michael Scott?
June 19th, 2027. Mark it down.
Yep.
You know
We're
what? I
having
think
a
it's-
wedding in Cabo.
You know what? Was it?
Or
a
I
case
am.
I am.
Was it a case of them just trying to feel out the waters to see the reaction of the end credit scene or whatever? Do people do that? Do studios do that?
No, they could have done that, but then they announced that
Then
they
they
were working
announced
on
that
it.
they're doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
It could have just been a fun Easter egg.
And this is supposed to be with Chris Hemsworth too, right?
Well, he is in early talks.
From what
but-
we were.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to
Yeah.
happen. I think there's more likely chances that Chris Hemsworth does that Hulk Hogan movie that he was talking about.
But you know what?
Doing this.
He did voice what we're going to talk about later, Transformers 1, Orion Pack. So
Yeah,
I mean,
but
he is under
in
that-
this Transformers world, that's a different. This is a different Optimus Prime.
oh no, I meant he's going to play a Joe. Wasn't he supposed to play a Joe?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
I think he's in Minecraft too now. So
Yeah,
it's
I
not
think
happening.
this movie is going to very quietly disappear. I really do. Like, really, we're a year later and we're trying to figure it out. Anyway,
It should
guys,
be, sorry. I'm just saying it should be animated. What do you think about
Well, that would be fun.
animation? Like,
Maybe.
no one's going to go see that.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I mean, you could do an animated movie and drop it on streaming.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But I mean, if you want to make a legitimate
Right.
feature film that people are going to excite about going to the movies for, you got to do it live action. So
right.
I don't know. We want to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Hungryroot. Guys, you know me, I like things that make my life easier, especially things that make it easier for me to eat healthy and eat well, and certainly more effectively than trying to order from food delivery services. Hungryroot is the easiest way to eat healthy. They send you fresh, high-quality groceries, simple, delicious recipes, and essential supplements. It's like having someone else do all the planning and shopping so you don't even have to think about it. Hungryroot gets to know your personal health goals, dietary restrictions, favorite foods, how much time you want to spend cooking, and more. Then they build you a personalized cart with all your grocery needs for the week, including easy 4-ingredient recipes to put those groceries to use. Each order is fully customizable so you can take their suggestions or choose anything you want. They've got fresh produce, high quality meat and seafood, healthy snacks, smoothies, sweets, ready to eat meals, kids snacks and meals, vitamins and supplements, and much more. Everything from Hungryroot follows a simple standard. It's got to taste good, be quick to make, and contain whole, trusted ingredients. Right now, Hungryroot is offering the John Campea Show listeners 40% off your first delivery and free veggies for life. Just go to hungryroot.com/Campea to get 40% off your first delivery and get your free veggies. That's hungryroot.com/Campea. Don't forget to use our link so that they know we sent you. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? The producers of this Transformers G.I. Joe movie are saying, yeah, it's a year later, but we're kind of trying to figure out what we want to do. Really? You already told us you were doing it. Anyway, whatever you guys think, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.